that?
What the hell? So, oh my gosh.
Looks like you're farting pandas. No, Tabs. It looks like you were the only one with pandas. Nobody else has pandas. I don't know, but that's a cute gift. It's cute.
Got it ran on my parade. Anyway, so this is the podcast for today on the what is it? Is it the 10th? April 10th?
Yes.
It is the 11th here, but yes.
Yeah, it's 10 here.
God damn.
Yeah.
All right, so April 10th, and this is episode 12.
It's right now for.
Right, yeah.
So, real quick, whoever wants to start, how's things going on your end? Okay.
I'll start. I'll start. Sorry. So I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. Things here are starting to get a little bit more serious compared to like what it was. But I was telling Sam earlier, here at least I know they're being a lot more lenient with the COVID testing, which is nice, so that they are getting a lot more people tested now, and they have that resource for them. But other than that, the kind of stores are starting to really count people who are inside, and they're making people wait. Like you're standing in line, you have to wait for 2 people to come out for 2 more people to go in. We're experiencing that at Whole Foods, Walmart, like pretty much every major grocery store. Our gas prices are super low here, which is awesome. I filled up my tank for $15, and I haven't been able to do that since I was like 16.
Damn.
Yeah. So, that's great, and I do see a lot more people are wearing masks now, which I think is great. They're definitely taking it more seriously here. I'm seeing a lot of the homemade masks, which is awesome. So they know that they're not buying masks that medical professionals need. They're making them themselves or ordering it from Etsy, whatever. But yeah, I think it is starting to get a little bit more serious. But the more serious it gets, the more people are like taking it seriously and being more considerate as well. There's not as much hoarding going on with the groceries. But people are definitely, staying within the social distancing rules. I really like that the stores have placed either X's or tape or even like official 6 feet away thing on the floor of most of the stores, so because I'm terrible with distance, you guys. Like, I was just kind of assuming that if I can't touch someone at 6 feet, something like that. But for like waiting in line and stuff, I appreciate that they have the boxes to help people and remind people as well. So I think, we're going to hit our peak within the next week to 2 weeks is what I would assume, following behind the New York and New Jersey area. But that's just kind of a guesstimate on my end.
Okay. So you guys are moving sort of slowly in the right direction, little by little.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
good.
And yeah, I think it's great that people, are. It's a lot different here because I think people are not necessarily taking the illness itself as much of a shock. They're definitely thinking, how can I help myself and how can I help the people around me? Versus, oh no, I'm going to get sick, which was the initial fear. And if you ride through that fear, then you get to that final stage of, okay, if I get sick, this happens, but I'm not sick, so let's do what I can to prevent that from happening.
Right.
I guess.
And what about you, Eliza?
The same. The guidelines were made very apparent, made very public, and we hopefully are heeding by those rules. But there are a lot of communities. Okay, but actually, this is a situation. There are a lot of communities, mostly minorities, that, and I can't say this with all knowing. I am not a doctor. I'm not keeping schedule with this, but it seems like, from what I've heard, that minorities are getting hit a lot harder, and we're trying to understand why.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm hearing is that there's just a general public lack of healthcare to this certain minority groups, and in general, you just feel ignored.
Mm-hmm.
So when this happened, they didn't feel like anyone was talking to them, and there were some rumors going around that African Americans were immune to COVID, and I don't know how far that rumor went, but whatever the situation is, I think that there are some people who are not taking this seriously still, and it's not my job to educate everyone, but it's also, everyone else's job to educate themselves.
Mm.
It's very tricky.
Right.
I don't know.
I did. I did hear today because I think it was about 12. I was just watching on YouTube. I was watching Cuomo's.
Your dad's in the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
Because I have a friend here who's from the Bronx, and he says that they're just acting like everything's normal, and he's not fazed by it. He hasn't seen people. I guess he hasn't seen people in a dire situation, but he's not afraid. But he says that that's the consensus there. And he mentioned that up here we're going crazy, but where he lives, it's not that. And I don't think that's something to be like, oh, that's nice, but it's just very strange.
Yeah, it's not just there. I mean, we're seeing all over the country, even other places around the world where people are just not.
Because I can't.
What?
The panda. Can you remove the panda?
Let me see real quick.
Go.
Okay. So what I was just gonna say is that you are kind of seeing that in other places around the world too, right now, where there's just people that they're not really getting it still, and that's unfortunate because obviously we want to bring the curve down. But I did also hear today from Cuomo that the curve is actually starting to flatten, and there's less hospitalizations now. And again, the less hospitalizations you have, the less of a strain there is on the healthcare system, and the less potential deaths there will be in a couple of days to a week or so. So the issue is, like he was saying, is people just need to keep it up. Just because we're seeing a dip in numbers doesn't mean by any means that anybody can just stop adhering to the social distancing and quarantining stuff. As for here, we are at, I think, 420, little over 420 cases now across the state.
Yeah, about that.
And today we had
Which islands have the most cases?
Oahu. Oahu has the most
Oahu.
cases, yeah. And unfortunately, I don't want to say this really, but that is kind of a given because they have like over
They have
they have over like 1 million people packed on a small island. So it's
But a lot of, well, actually, no, all islands have a lot of commercial flights and people just going for vacation.
yeah, that is a problem. That is a problem that we're still having, unfortunately. Even though we have seen a huge dip in the amount of people coming here, because this time last year we were having 30,000 people arriving a day to the island, and
Holy crap.
now we've had about like 140 people coming by plane. But still, I mean, as we know, just one person can infect a bunch of people. So we're
I'm not.
We actually have 465.
okay,
Oh, wow.
465, and we did have what was it earlier? There was 2 more cases on Maui, right?
That's counting the 2.
Yeah. And unfortunately,
That's the total.
there are more hospital workers that just tested positive with it too. That's because our hospital was not allowing the workers to wear PPE when they weren't attending to COVID-19 patients, which is total
Okay.
bullshit.
It never makes sense. They're not allowing them to wear protective gear.
Yeah, they weren't. But as far as the
Yeah.
official notice, about like an hour ago, they released a statement saying that they are now allowing their workers to wear protective PPE.
They were probably worried about running out because I know the shortage is still pretty hard some places.
Well, they weren't even letting the PPE that they themselves had purchased, like that the workers individually purchased on. They weren't allowing them to wear that. So I mean, I don't get the administration's thinking. It just doesn't make sense to me. But
In Oahu, who's a nurse, and she's been advocating about the disparity and the severity of the situation there. And that's one hospital in Hawaii, but
Yeah.
the main hospital. I think they've been very cautious and very stuff for a long time. Regardless of what the government says, they've been cautious.
Yeah, and as the other good thing is, as far as I know, I mean, Ashley, maybe you can explain a little bit of what's going on out in Hana, but I know that over here on this side and throughout the state, we've supposedly had some very, very good adequate testing done. So they're doing I forgot how many thousands of tests a day throughout the state, but we've been sort of good on testing so far. And then for the flights coming in, anybody that's coming in has to adhere to a 14-day quarantine. And
Yeah.
and now starting tonight, we're also having a curfew from 11 till 5 in the morning.
Wow.
Only for this week.
Yeah, and only for 3 days,
It's a trial.
but it
Yeah.
is a pilot program.
And
Okay.
right?
Huh?
What time is it between
11 to 5.
11 p.m. and 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
That's a pretty dead hour to begin with. No one really travels in that time in general.
Yeah, yeah, you would think so, but there's still a lot of idiots that that don't get the idea. And like earlier today, I was actually amazed to see how many fucking complaints there were on the Hawaii News Now and Maui Now that were posting the notices, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is how a police state starts," and they were saying, say goodbye to your freedoms, and I'm like, I had to explain like the reason why. Like, it's not that hard to understand. The reason why we're having this is because of the fucking shitheads that are still going over to their friend's house, their cousin's house, it's lounging on the beaches. If you don't want that to happen, then follow the fucking rules. It's not that hard. Like,
Yeah.
for us people that are following the rules, it's not fair because, like, we're staying home. We made sacrifices. So everyone else should too.
Our neighbor actually said something to me and Adam today. He's like, "You guys have been leaving the house quite a bit. There's a pandemic going on, right?" And I was like, "I appreciate your worry about that. Thank you for noticing so much of our tendencies, I guess." I was like, I'm like, unfortunately, I have a couple other medical problems, and I've had dental emergencies that can't wait. And I've been having to travel outside quite a bit, unfortunately, for that. And he was like, "Oh, he kind of like backed off. He's like, I'm just trying to keep you guys safe, I was like, "You've never said like 2 words to us ever since we've lived here since October." But then we get that. So whatever. I was like, I like that you're being, you're thinking of that, but I promise we're just going out because we have to.
I feel like it's also a big talking point for people who don't normally go out.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? Like, it's a
Right?
conversation.
It's so funny because, like, my husband, he works from home. And, like, I'm pretty much a homebody because I don't know anyone else here outside of his family. And so, like, we rarely ever leave the house. It's just because of the dental stuff going on. So it's a little ironic that I'm like, usually we're at home all the time, but I know we're leaving a lot right now. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But,
And Ashley, how's things going on your side of the island?
I would say it's getting a little stricter.
Mm.
Our road is closed down, and now they put the National Guard at the beginning of our road. And so every time we go out, we have to show our ID, let them know what time we're heading back in,
wow.
and what we're going out for.
Yeah. It's because Hana is a very isolated community, and they don't have the access to a lot of the stuff that we got. Yeah.
There's
that-
no hospitals at home.
We have one like medical center, but they're not that equipped with everything that would need for COVID-19.
Yeah. Like we only have one actual medical center on the island, and that's Maui Memorial. I'm just hoping that they're gonna wisen up now, because that was some bullshit on the administrator's part. I'm sorry, I don't understand the thinking behind that.
Well, and here too, they're actually what they're providing. Some hospitals, I shouldn't say all, the nurses and doctors have to come in wearing their home clothes, shower and change into scrubs at the hospital, and then before they go home, they have to shower again at the hospital and change back into their other clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Did we lose Eliza? Is she there?
No, I just don't know how this fucking thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Yay. Okay. So I know they're here. They're taking that extra precaution, but as far as the PPE, I don't know.
Right.
That was pretty stupid of them. I wonder if other places experience that as well.
Yeah, I've been hearing some things coming out from various hospitals across the country that similar things. It's either that they don't have enough PPE, or they're not being allowed to use PPE in some instances. The good thing is that California, which now apparently has a surplus of things, are distributing it to other places that need it. And New York also, with the temporary hospitals that they built, Cuomo said that those are for like overflow patients. Hey, doggy.
Yay!
I loved your Instagram story, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, I was like making, he kind of reminds me of Chewy.
Oh my goodness! Oh, he is so cute. Oh my goodness! What's his name?
His name is Griffin.
Oh, he's such a griffin. Oh my gosh.
Looks like a wise man.
Yeah, he looks like he needs like a cigar and some smooth jazz.
Oh, sweet. Well, I just got a notice from Zoom. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just saw that too. What's that mean?
Well, because I guess they just implemented it, because I think like up to a week ago, it used to be that if you had basic, you were limited to 40 minutes on Zoom.
That's why my ended early.
Yeah.
And it was ended at 40 minutes.
Yeah. But now they said that they removed the limit, because a lot of people are using Zoom now, so they probably we'll capitalize on this shit.
Or prevent it from crashing.
Does anyone know in your guys' areas what they're doing for schools right now? Like primary schools or even university?
I know, like primary school, kindergarten. My friend is a kindergarten teacher. A few of my friends are kindergarten teachers and also grade school teachers.
Okay.
And all told to stay home. And my public school friend is not teaching, but my private school friend is teaching. So,
Okay.
yeah, I guess it depends. Public schools have a program to teach offsite, but I don't think it's implemented as much. And the private schools, there are classes happening online and Zoom. So,
Okay.
like every morning, my friend makes a video for 3 of her classes and broadcasts them during the week.
Okay. Okay.
I think
I was kind of curious. Yeah.
Also, I don't know if I told you guys, but I have, one of my best friends, 9 months pregnant when this all happened.
Yeah.
It was very scary, but she is well, and she has her newborn baby girl, and they're fine. But I heard of another girl that I know who went to what's happening in the city. A lot of people who have money and have other houses are going to those places, like the suburbs, like the Hamptons or Connecticut or some shit. And a girl that I know was one of them, and she went to East Hampton, and she was also 9 months pregnant, but she has 2 other kids, and she gave birth while she was up there, And a week after she gave birth, her newborn had a slight fever. So they went to the hospital, and it turned out that she and her newborn had COVID.
Oh,
No.
no.
And they went through quarantine. She announced that they were fine afterwards, and it turns out that they just both had like slight fevers, but that was the extent of it. And so they were fine. Yes, that's not always the case,
Yeah.
but a lot of people don't have these crazy mortal situations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard more than a couple times that for kids, I don't know if it's the same for infants, but for kids, that they probably have COVID with no symptoms. They might have a slight fever and feel a little sluggish, but they might not have
Mm-hmm.
big symptoms because their little immune systems can just work through it a lot faster.
Yeah.
And that was the big danger, is that, you know, your kids
just pregnant, but that mother was fine.
Yeah.
She
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think that was the big deal. A lot of parents were complaining like, oh, my kid's fine. Oh, my kid's not showing symptoms or anything like that. Like, why can't they still come to daycare? Like, why do daycares have to be shut down if they're whatever? And I just, you know, I'm like, it's one of those things too. The incubation period too is, you know, still 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know her, and I know she has 2 other kids though, and I know that she was up there with her husband and these 2 kids after the fact that she had COVID. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly sure what the family's situation is, but the rest of them are fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just it's you can't label this shit. It's
No.
not like, oh, okay, you have it. You're gonna go to this step and this step and this step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy.
But the other there's the other good news is that they are now rolling out more and more clinical trials across the country, and one of the treatments, obviously, as we've talked a bunch about, and sure everyone's talked a bunch about, is the hydroxychloroquine, and they're now doing large scale studies, double-blind studies, which is the best way to obtain data in the scientific sense. So they're doing that. They're also testing other treatments. What was that?
What drug are you talking about? Is that the malaria?
Yeah, hydroxychloroquine is the malaria drug. Now the thing is the coronavirus task force, they did say that you cannot get this drug unless you have unless it's at the approval of your physician and your doctor. So they said that you can't. They said that you can't. You shouldn't. You're not able to actually go to the pharmacy and just get it like that. Now they are moving about 30 million pills into the stockpile. Because they said that they also need to have some for the people who have lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. There's still people that need hydroxychloroquine for their existing conditions, so they're holding some to be able to disperse to those patients. But the data that has come out from France, data that's come out from South Korea and Spain, are showing that hydroxychloroquine is actually having an effect on the virus, especially when used with azithromycin, also commonly known as a Z-Pak, and zinc. Zinc is also shown to be extremely important against this virus. And I actually happen to have... Luckily, I have like 4 bottles of it, as well as vitamin C. So a lot of doctors are recommending that you high dose with vitamin C, because the up 5,000 milligrams, because there's research too that shows that vitamin C has been a key component in fighting off the virus and strengthening your immune system as well against it. So
Vitamin C strengthens your immune system, but vitamin C is not the answer. Like, yes, you can take what your body would intake it into, but pumping thousands of milligrams of vitamin C into your system, you're just gonna pee it out. So
Yeah, that's studies have also shown that you're not gonna retain nearly as much of the vitamin as you think you will.
yeah,
10,000 milligrams a day, 8,000, and maybe your body will process 80,000, but that's also iffy.
yeah,
Just take a regular dose of vitamins and minerals. Take a multivitamin.
yeah. That's why you do
I
it.
will be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but that's why you do staggered dosing. So like you don't do 5,000 milligrams all at once.
I don't know where you are on my screen, but Hana hair is gorgeous.
That's that's Hawaiian hair.
Yeah, no, mine is so dry. I have curly hair, but it just doesn't look like it because it's so.
Not even. I
gotta figure out what the hell is going on with my light in here.
jumping about Hawaiian hair. It all
What?
is not up.
What was?
Said a jumping about Hawaiian hair. It always knocks up.
Oh, gotcha.
That's the blessing of curly, beautiful hair. You get to deal with it.
Yeah.
No, not everyone has curly, beautiful hair. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. I gotta cut it again.
I'm lucky. I cut my hair right before all this shit went down. So I
don't let any barbers cut my hair. I cut my own hair.
Ooh, ballsy.
And color my own hair.
Wow, ballsy. I color my hair, but just the part that's. I told you I have this one white streak. It's crazy, but I dye that. That's about it. Sammy, stop blowing fucking imaginary bubbles.
Bubbles. He's back in the room. He's not in the office.
Why? Why the fuck you have two things that I don't
Bubbles.
What the hell is going on here? I gotta figure out my whole lighting situation in this room because it's fucking terrible.
I didn't have anything lights.
I brought a friend to say hello because no one else gets to see her ever. Can you say hi?
Kitty.
Say hi to the. Say hi. You see the meow meows.
Is that the
My cat's sleeping.
She's 5, but she is little.
little?
Ew.
Yeah. Can you say hi? She really likes to play with the microphone. So, but
Has a light on it? I don't know.
yeah.
But it looks really entertaining.
Right? Yeah, it's actually, these are my husband's and it actually all lights up on the side. I don't know if you can see that.
What a party.
But, right? Yeah.
Boy, that doesn't help at all. That just makes me look like creepy as fuck.
You look a little creepy like that, yeah.
So,
I think you gotta move towards the lamp.
yeah, put your lens on your face. Yes.
Or where's the lamp or the bed?
That's fine. I can see your
There.
face.
Yeah, that's good.
Nostrils.
Sammy, what's the longest that you've grown your hair? Have you ever grown it to like a shoulder?
Yeah, yeah, and I have photos of that. That's what I'm trying to do now, but it's not working.
Not working.
What's your head?
It's curling up again.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, look at it. Look at it.
I gotta bring the hair straightener to it.
Yep.
Yes, please. I just want to see it. Like,
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
no.
have a picture of that, yeah?
Oh, he has several of
Yes,
those.
yes, I have all those. Actually, Eliza, you know I have all those old photos on my Facebook.
so do I.
Yeah, I was like that,
Yeah.
definitely. It's funny because I started off in my emo phase. That was like my sophomore year, and then I transitioned into, oh god,
A pimp daddy motherfucker.
Oh my god, yes.
you're killing me.
This is even up. This is Sam.
I love it. That is so cute.
This is 2000. This is right before it turned 2000. We were having a celebration in Maui. And Sammy decided to wear this pimp hat.
Oh my gosh, he looks like a little Bruno Mars with
Oh
that
my
hat.
gosh.
Yeah.
Was always a swag motherfucker.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I guess Sammy,
Hmm.
where is the hat?
He's
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I'll blind your face, but you look really good in the hat.
It's in the closet.
What's that? 'Cause you could do that with
Uh,
my photos. I don't want that done to me either, so my bad.
no, you're
Don't
good.
apologize. He's fine. Do not apologize. It's a really good picture, honestly.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
the turn of the century.
Yeah.
Photo.
This fucking cat just.
I've never one cat that acted like a dog.
Oh my god.
Oh, what the
I've
hell?
never
Oh
met
shit.
cats that are
Did you just see what it did? Did you just see what it
Yes,
did?
I did.
Oh my god, that was perfect. Wait, okay, hold up, I gotta try that again. I wanna see, why does it only do it when I do that? I wanna see if it'll do it with,
Oh my goodness, cats.
I don't know what she's doing. She's just.
let me see if
Oh
it'll,
my god, Sammy.
let me see if it'll do it again.
Oh my god.
That's great.
What?
My new filter.
I'm gonna play with it. Don't worry. I know.
See, it's not working because it doesn't have, I'm not lit up enough.
I'm saving this filter for your birthday because it's coming up and I don't know what to present you with also to make you laugh. But this filter is fucking gold.
Yes.
I kind of want to just share it. So then I won't have myself.
Come down.
Let me see if I can. Okay, so sorry for anyone who's gonna be listening to this later. We're just fucking around with the.
Honestly, though, like this is 10 times better than talking about COVID right now.
Yes.
I would
Yeah.
have to say so.
That's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sick of talking about it. Like, I know we need to spread the word and everything, but at the same time, I'm like,
Got to keep positive. Got to keep that positive energy going.
My neighbor is upstairs in this apartment. So I made those. Those are mine.
Oh, those are so cool.
My neighbors, I do have a tough six, but my neighbors, I have been annoyed with before this situation. I've been annoyed with because they don't have area rugs, which as someone who lives in an apartment, you know you should have. It's just like courtesy. It's common courtesy to have an area rug so you don't make crazy noise on the ground.
Yeah.
And they don't. And it's just been a shit. And now that they're all home, it's more of a shit. But not to the point where I'm like crazy. However, last night I did kind of go out. Sammy, those photos are cute, but I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to tell a story.
Yeah, go ahead.
And those butterflies.
All I can see are butterflies. I'm not even seeing the pictures.
Extra Sam.
Good job. Well done. Good job.
So my story is that my neighbors have been making noise for a very long time, and now it's just in my ears. And I brought it up to people, my friend who's downstairs, and he said that they were going absolutely fucking nuts because of this whole virus. They come down in the elevator and run out, ask them how many people have been in the elevator since they were in it.
What the fuck?
And then freak out, run outside, and then run back inside. Which makes all the sense because I hear them running upstairs. So they're just fucking running. I mean, they must be going fucking crazy. I don't feel bad. I was gonna send a little note underneath their door and be like, hey, do you have an area rug? Would you think about getting an area rug? But it's not the time. It's not the time. And after hearing that they're freaking out, God, I can't even imagine. If I sent a note under their door, they would probably be like, contaminating shit. Like, yeah.
Well, you could like if you have a Post-it or something, you can just say like write something and just say we're gonna make it out of this. We'll be okay, and then put like a heart there, and then just put it next to their door or something.
Realizing their neighbors now.
Yeah.
Because we live on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like, hi. Nice to meet you.
I mean, I'm one of those people too. Like when we lived in an apartment, any little noise that I heard, I would like jump for the first I don't know how many months I was there. And again, our neighbor upstairs, I swear to God, they were bowling at 3 a.m. every single night. I'm like, what are you guys doing up there that is so loud? Like, what is it? And so finally, I wrote him a note, and I put it with like little, I put a Starbucks gift card on there just because I felt bad. I'm like, hey, if you could just get down in the middle of the night, that would be great. And then it was fine after that. Like, they were still really nice to me. We ran into each other. Like, they weren't mean about it, nothing. So I just, yeah.
You have a pink.
I don't know what's happening. I was hoping it was just the screen, but yeah, I am bright red.
Is it out?
Is it what?
Is it hurting?
No.
Oh.
I know. I was noticing that. Like, it's a little warm, but not bad. I don't know.
Sunburn inside. Who knew?
Maybe you never know. I mean, I'm super white, so it's possible. It seriously is.
All more in tune with our allergies and our hearing and our things. And I know I'm nitpicking on this. Like, I'm not going to bring it up, but it's just annoying. But I can't be the only person going through this. There's so many people who live in apartments right now.
Yeah. And like you said, you guys are all home at the same time now, which might not have happened before. So, like, again, like with our neighbor, we haven't said, like, anything to each other since we moved in October. and then he just like came up and started talking to us. So
I would rather like talk to the person than have this animosity, this underlying animosity. Like I don't know what I'm gonna say to them, but I do have a neighbor next door to me just on my floor, and there should be 2 neighbors, but one of them left for their country.
Okay.
The other one is younger than me, and I'm like one of the youngest in the room. So I ran into her today, and I was like, "How are you doing?" Same as everyone else. We're just dealing with it, doing what we can,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very happy to hear that she understands what's happening, as well as knowing how to protect herself. Like panicking doesn't do shit. All you can do is stay home and be comfortable in that situation, and whatever you need to make you comfortable, aside from like a crazy alcoholic or drug addict, just be calm. Find a cool series to watch. Find good TV.
I also just want to say that Netflix and Disney Plus has a lot of like good shows on there now too.
Wait, you have Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Can you share that information?
Well,
I actually just got a free 30-day trial of Disney Plus, so I'm doing that.
I'm actually under my friend's
Disney Plus is awesome.
my friend's account. She added me on there. Luckily.
I've never tried it. I just know that it's all the Disney and stuff I can't imagine.
It's
Go
got
sign up. You get a free 30-day trial. Seriously.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, and they have all the they have the Star Wars, they have the old Marvel stuff, they have Frozen, they have Life of Pets, they have all the classic Disney
Yeah, because
stuff,
Disney owns Marvel and all
And-
that kind of stuff. So.
and National
Yeah, no,
Geographic.
Because they're Monopoly and they're also anti-Semitic and fucking. Oh, I think I saw your nipple. Sorry.
What?
Oh, maybe not. It might have been another thing. For 1 second, I was like, nipple, and we're talking. My bad.
Oh, now you want back up here? Really? Oh my god.
Ah,
That I was in a beach. Oh my god! Also, how are you doing in a beach atmosphere and being used to like celebrating outside and going to the beach and stuff, and not being able to do that shit?
a lot. Unfortunately, well, we can. So the guidelines are we can go to the beach if it's for exercise, but we cannot congregate on the beach, and you can't chill on the beach anymore. And police have been actively going through the beaches and fining people, giving them like $5,000 penalties if they catch them chilling on the beach. And unfortunately, there's still people that are like, huh?
Locals know where to go. Like you don't have to be on the beach to experience it.
Yeah.
So my Wahoo is just like, I feel safe doing it.
Don't be there.
No
Don't
one,
be there.
but
You're okay.
Show me.
he's used to going to a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Totally empty. So it's like experience.
Yeah. I think that's becoming sort of an issue because there's still like a lot of locals, like I said, that are trying to hide from. They're trying to hide from the police. Huh?
Sorry,
I want to be there.
My boy.
Fun. This is the quarantine courtesy.
Oh,
Your auntie feed you chocolate.
so
Tonight.
I was in the process of redoing my room
What?
Um,
You're a teddy bear, no?
when this whole shit went down. I was in the process of trying to redo my room, and
What are you doing to it?
I started putting these like positive affirmations around and like post-its
Okay.
just because they help me with my anxiety, and then I put those up, and
Okay.
then I have shit. I don't know if
Your
it's gonna.
dog gives you
The other one
this.
Damn it!
And I just noticed how camera ready he is. He just stays still. Scream out. And then he's like, a mop.
Right? God, he's so fucking cute though.
He reminds me of Chewy.
He does look like Chewy.
Yeah.
He looks like a very well groomed Chewy.
Oh, George Lucas based Ewoks off of this motherfucking breed.
Oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
The Ewoks are based off of Brussels Griffons, which is what he is. And
So cute. Is he a rescue? How long have you had him?
he's not a rescue, and I feel very embarrassed to say that.
No.
But he's not a and it was a difficult time in my life where
Yeah.
transitions were happening and people were phasing out, and I felt like I needed to phase him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a win, but it was the best 10-year win I ever made.
Aww.
So yeah, we're growing old now.
Whatever. This monster, her name literally is Monster. She's I don't know if she's a rescue necessarily, but we got her from a shelter. She came from a hoarder's house that had 13 other cats there. Yeah, and she's a Maine Coon. And Maine Coons can get like huge. They can get up to like 20 pounds.
That's the biggest cat size.
Can you go on your mom's car? Leave mine there.
Yeah, kind of. It goes like Maine Coon and it goes up to like servals, if you know what a serval is.
Pooh Bear.
Yeah. So she was only 5 pounds when we got her.
My dog has knee problems. Doing all the work.
How
Yeah.
how old is your dog now?
It's gonna be 10 in July.
Oh, wow.
But you know, ideally,
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dogs are
Where's that?
13
When he comes home.
13 years old now.
That's teddy bear.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, Lyric has slowed down quite a bit.
Yeah.
And she's doing
Oh yeah, grandma's
doing this thing now where she'll be standing and she'll keep her head like level to the ground, like she can't look up anymore, and she'll just stand there like staring in any direction, like she's like confused.
It's your mom.
And
tell us that she has a boil or something on her neck.
yeah, it's like it looks like a cyst of some kind. It's like on her left shoulder area. but it's like
That would prevent her from like lifting her head.
Yeah.
it's not on the neck area though. It's like on the actual like leg part.
Oh,
Yeah, it's and it's the size of a golf ball.
Aw.
Homeless people sex move on.
But
yeah, unfortunately, dogs, larger dogs, and dogs in general don't live past 10 plus.
Yeah.
yeah,
I almost got it because I heard that their lifespan is at least 19, 20 years.
A what is?
Chihuahuas. I think,
Okay.
Yeah.
but their lifespan is crazy.
Yeah.
And when I lost my first dogs, I had 2 dogs at the same time, and I got them in high school, and I kept them with me throughout college. And by that time, they were getting older. They were like around 20 years old, and my first dog passed away when he was like 9.
hmm
Yeah.
And I was in college, and I was just like thinking. That's when I got the idea to look into my dog's breed, Brussels Griffons, because it took me a while, like just figuring out what breed would be the most healthy.
hmm
That's what I was going for. Like, what would be the healthiest the whole entire time? Because
Yeah.
my dog had a lot of health problems. But you can't really get around that, especially with purebreds. You should get a dog that's mixed. You should get a dog who should, who's at the pound or something. They live longer. They're healthier.
hmm
They're better. But yeah, I ended up with this guy.
He's so cute.
Cute.
And honestly, like you have what?
I have too much animals.
What do you have?
Never enough.
No.
I have a cat, a dog, a pig. Actually 3 dogs and a pig and a fish.
Oh my goodness. I'd love it. I love it so much.
Pigs in Hawaii, I've always wanted a pig. They're so smart.
They are so smart.
They're so
It's a
smart.
wild pig. My
Yeah.
son caught it.
They're also delicious too.
What?
A wild pig.
They are delicious.
Fun. But they are so smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever had a crazy pet here? Like an off the wall pet?
I had a snake for 5 years.
That's cool. I like that.
No, but
No, well, I mean, it kind of, sort of. Sometimes it is to me still like people that just have like a bunch of different kinds of lizards.
I had a
Yeah,
Jackson.
right. What's a Jackson?
Chameleon. So they call chameleons
Oh,
here.
Okay.
I would
Yeah.
love that. Like, protect me from mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we
I
have
had it until they died.
Oh.
we have a shit ton of geckos in my house.
Do you?
Yeah.
Aren't your pet.
No, but they're companions.
You could name them. You could that extra set.
Growing up, I had a pet cow. Her name was Bubblegum.
Um,
She was a show cow, and so I don't know if you've seen the really fuzzy ones that have the fuzzy legs.
hmm
That's what she was. So we didn't eat her, but she was a show cow. But- what's that?
what does it take to be a show cow? What
You have to be
qualifies?
very cute and fuzzy.
What
Just
are dogs?
it's like so it's a different. It's kind of like a little bit of a different breed. They have a lot longer hair and they stay fuzzy longer. They're all kind of fuzzy when they're calves, but this one stays fuzzy its whole life. And people usually use them for milk, or they just for mating reasons or whatever. But it was my friend's farm and also part of my uncle's farm, and they had bred this calf that they were going to do for like 4-H things. So you go there, you show them you have a pretty cow, you get a ribbon for it. That's it. So But you have to like groom them and take care of them and stuff. And we got to bottle feed her when she was a calf because her mom actually died because of wolf and is this whole thing. So you get to bottle feed the calves sometimes, which means you're out there like every couple hours with the bottle, like middle of the night and everything.
Mm.
So it was a cute experience. So
One of my dreams is to have like a sanctuary. I was in Maui when Sammy's mom took me to the sanctuary there. It was all like farm animals that were saved, and it was fucking gorgeous. And I want that for my life. I want to see that.
I personally, I don't want to farm. I know how much work has to go into it, and I just don't want that. I'd rather go visit. It's hard work for sure. Sam one time was looking at my house on Google Images, like on Google Maps.
Yikes.
And he was looking at my house. I know, right? We'd been dating for a couple of years at this point. But yeah, so he was looking at it. And he's like, what are all those black spots?
You
around
did
your
the same
house?
to
Like,
me.
Is there a fire or something? And I'm like, no, those are cows. He's like, those are like real cows. He's like, there's hundreds of them.
Oh, Sammy, are you wearing gloves to us? Because we're not dirty, and you can't get germs from video.
What?
Are you trying to? Are you wearing gloves?
Yeah,
Why?
because you do
Why don't you get the medical
you-
workers?
you do know that you can wash these, right? I know about the whole cross contamination thing. I know that.
No, you're not supposed to do that kind of stuff in your own house.
Yeah, you are.
No, that will actually upset your bacteria flow the opposite way. You'll wind up with something called C. diff. You don't want that.
I don't know what that is.
It's a really it's a bacteria thing that happens in your gut when there's too much. So like all these antibiotics and stuff that we take, or the Lysol and everything, it gets rid of all bacteria, including the good bacteria in our body that keeps us healthy. So it strips you of all bacteria, and you need that good bacteria in your stomach, in your gut, to help everything flow and digest right. But with everything going on, we're stripping all bacteria out, and it's just, yeah. But yes, cross-contamination can still happen, even if you can wash your gloves. Same.
Yeah, like anything you're touching with the little glove fingers are contaminated now.
Yeah, and you don't have to do that within your own home. Same with like social distancing in your own house. It doesn't make sense. Like you share everything. There's no way to divide the air that you're breathing in your own home.
Mm-hmm.
I am getting satisfied by correcting you, but also don't feel embarrassed.
No, like don't feel embarrassed at all. I'm sorry that I came across that a little harsh. My bad. I like that you're taking your precautions.
No, for sure. Take every precaution possible.
Yeah.
Mother is a fucking national treasure, and treat her as such. Not touch her with that.
I do also have to say, in my defense, earlier I had to go switch the propane tanks out earlier, so that's why I put the gloves on.
So,
But I just forgot to take them off.
Now.
That's a reason. Why are you
Sam,
letting
take them off. Take it off, Sam. Take it off.
take it off? Say that. Why let us talk about this shit for forever? Actually, it does do some sort of purpose because we're talking about other people that are using this foolishly. Yes.
Can I help you? Sorry. I'm so sorry.
What?
Propane tanks?
Huh?
You gotta go change the propane tanks.
Yes, the protein tanks.
Propane tanks. The gas.
I know. I got it. Yeah, I did earlier. I did earlier, yeah.
Did.
Why are his gloves on now?
That's my point.
Because
He has to do it.
when I wear them, I forget that I have them on until
I believe you. I've been there, and I've heard your mom tell you to do shit, and you don't. I'm just thinking that she asked you a long time ago to do this, and you didn't do it.
no.
Your gloves are so-
No, I did it on my own because I wanted to dry my clothes.
So you did already do it.
Yeah, but then I was talking to her, and then I was checking my phone, and I was focused on other things.
It's done with. You finished the job.
I need to see you take the gloves off. It's stressing me out at this point because all the cross contamination is happening in the world right now.
Propane tanks. Who knows what that is? And then you touch other things.
And other people touch the propane tanks to fill it up.
Yeah, that's why I was wearing my gloves at the time.
Okay, are they off now? Yay, they're off! Yay! You took the gloves off.
Take them off.
What?
How did you take them off?
The correct way. I didn't touch the outsides. The outside layer.
Okay, Sam.
By the way, no, that does bring up a good point though, because I am sure that a lot of other people are wearing gloves, and it didn't help. It didn't help too that there's a lot of conflicting guidelines out there right now too, because some people are saying, "Oh yes, you should wear gloves. You should wear gloves if you can, and then wash them like you would your own hands." And then there's other people that are saying, "No, don't wear gloves." So I don't know. For me personally, I felt that it was safer to wear gloves.
It's one of those things, though. If you're gonna wear the gloves, you have to have a couple pairs of them, or be able to sanitize them somehow. I personally don't believe in having the same kind of gloves and washing them. If you're doing that, you might as well not wear them. Honestly, if you're just going to wear them all the time and just wash them like your hands, you're going to get more protection just washing your hands, because more can stick to those gloves than our fingers are designed. Our bodies are designed to help us and get through things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's when we start interfering with that kind of thing and that system that works inside us that it's just going to get overrun.
Right.
So I was personally on the fence about the mask situation, because the studies definitely outweighed that if you were not sick, it would not protect you to just wear a mask. And that those who are sick are the ones that need to be wearing a mask. But, there's different studies on that too. But I do know for a fact that, if you're not sick, if you were wearing solely just a mask with your eyes still exposed, it wasn't going to save you necessarily.
Yeah.
But everyone has to take their precautions. So, unfortunately, guys, I do have to sign off. Husband has to go to work soon, so I need to wake him up and feed him. So,
right on. I
will. Yeah, I want to know.
What do you think about this shit right now? Like the format now. Like, is this something that you think that we should keep doing, like using Zoom
Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. All right.
I think it helps on who's talking when, because especially if there's three girls, you can. Obviously, we have different voices, but I think it's easier to put a face to the voice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and also to not cut each other off. On the phone, I can't really tell when someone's
yeah,
ready or not finished speaking, and it's better this way.
It is. I like this a lot better, actually.
I do. So before we end, I do want to say that I did check the numbers 15 minutes ago, and we are at almost 80% of releases from hospitals around the world. So
That's good.
versus the deaths, which are at 20%. So
Okay.
we're over, and again, the recovery numbers might even be higher than that because that's only taking into account the people that have been tested, and but we know that there's a shit ton of people that are recovering at home, that have gotten sick, and that's why they're rolling out these antibody tests now. So the recoveries are a lot higher, and people should realize that not everyone is going to die. Not everyone is dying. There's a lot of people recovering, so just keep that in mind. But yeah. So you're going to head off, Nashay?
I am going to head off, so I will talk to you guys whenever we do this next. So everyone stay safe. And I honestly don't know how to end this. How do I hang up? Oh, leave meeting. Okay, I figured it out. Okay. Bye, guys. I'll
Bye.
see you later.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye. Then there were 3.
Every time I put my fingers into my mouth, I think about like where they were more than I would have normally.
Well,
I don't know.
all I have to say is that you're lucky you're not dealing with a beard and a mustache. Yeah.
Actually, I cut my fingernails because I didn't want that extra angst. I just want to get the shit out. So there's no germs underneath my fingernails. I cut them out. Nice. We do what we can.
Yeah. So you feeling okay, Eliza?
I wear a mask every day now when I go outside. I could show you. Okay. So my friend who works in my building downstairs gave me this mask. And so I've been wearing this every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lovely and all that, but I think it's a false front. It's basically, what do you call this? Foam? Like it's what you would find in your air conditioner. It's like a filter.
Yeah.
I can breathe very easily through this. It's not like cloth.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that it's not that safe. But it has all these little bits on the front that make it seem safe. I don't know.
Well,
I think
the mask situation, basically anything that is not N95 rated is not going to protect you from the virus. The reason why people are wearing masks is because if you are potentially infected and, like, let's say, you don't know that you are, by wearing that mask, you are reducing the amount of particles that you release out. So you're actually wearing it to protect someone else.
I agree with that
Yeah.
sentiment, but I don't think that this mask does that, especially this mask, because of what it's made out of. It's actually more flimsy than wearing a bandana.
Yeah.
You can breathe through it. It's kind of only keeping out hairs. If you want to not breathe in hairs, it's blocking particles, but it's not at all impeding like your breath.
Yeah.
But everyone has these, so I don't feel fucking safe at all.
You can use if you have like a like a towel or rag that you don't use for anything else.
Bandana.
No matter what I do, everyone is wearing these or like some other shitty shit, or you can't rely on it. So
they
people with masks,
yeah.
but it's not.
They released that there's a graph that was released on what materials give you protection, and so they said that if you're not wearing a mask, obviously you're getting zero protection from that. So the idea is if you have to go out and you don't have any masks on hand, that what you do is you take a piece of clothing and you make it where it's multiple layers. So like if that means folding it up multiple times and then wrapping it tightly around your nose and mouth, because what that's doing again is it's mitigating your spread of potential germs in the area around you. So here they're not right now, they're not allowing people to go into stores without masks. Yeah. Like Foodland. I think Foodland on Monday is gonna start that policy where if you don't have a mask, you can't get in. And Pukulani Superette is doing that now.
Pukulani. That's the right idea. Like, let's think that way. I think every store here is thinking that way. They say if you don't have a mask and gloves, you cannot come inside, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you're not online. It's a good safety measure, but when we think of safety measures and then we get this, which is lovely, like when you think about it, because having a bandana around my face, it's not like
Mm-hmm.
it's what we have. But if it's not safe, then what's the fucking point? Is what I'm kind of thinking. I don't think there's an answer. We're only trying to do the most of what we can.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think a lot of these things are... A lot of them are legit, but these things that my friend bought online...
Those may not be, yeah, those may not be. I think that with that one, you're better off using, like I said, a multiple folded...
Of 1 million.
Yeah.
So people are buying this because they can't get masks, and then they feel safe, and that's not.
Yeah, it's a false sense of security. Yeah, I get that. That's a problem. But the good thing is too is that there is a lot of other.
Because I'm not going out to public situations. I'm not taking the subway.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk my dog. Which wouldn't be the most like contact to have, but if I go into the park, there's a It's gonna be Hawaii right now. I'm looking at it, and it's looking like very sunny and lovely.
Yeah, I think the people who are really taking it upon themselves to sew masks are doing a fantastic job, because they're taking the guidelines from what is like a official masks that will be effective. So what most people are doing is they're taking multiple layers of fabric and they're sewing them in a way that matches the as close as they can be to N95
It makes more sense than this.
Yeah.
This is like and feeling.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I just made that last night.
Nice. Wait, did you sew it?
Yeah.
Dope.
On
Wait.
multiple
With a
layers.
machine, not by hand, right?
No, she used a sewing machine.
Yeah, with machine,
I want a sewing
not
machine.
by hand. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's one of my various talents I do.
That's super important. You can do a million things with sewing. Like a million.
I learned how to sew because I used to dance hula, so we had to make our own